welcome to another installment of Fantasy Failures. I am your host, Nick Kirkshank, joined here as always with my co-hosts, Cam Backstrom and Justin Gillerman. And before we get into it today, I just want to address everybody. I beat the hell out of you on my biggest bye week. I laid wood.
I had AJ on bye too. That's my best player on bye.
I had four people on bye.
Okay.
So you know what?
AJ Green.
I laid the wood to you.
You beat me by 9 points.
Shut up. And
9 points.
I used his defense, his own Ravens defense, to lay it down. So you picked me to lose, you picked me to lose. Screw both of you. What happened last week?
The Packers as a team as a whole just died.
Yeah.
Right here.
Are you?
Ball went out.
As a analyst on this fantasy football show,
Thank you.
it gives us something to talk about. Put that aside. As a Vikings fan, I don't cheer for injuries, but it helps the Vikings.
But you could not be happier, right?
I don't root for injuries. I don't wish Aaron Rodgers to be hurt.
Wow.
Look at just the people that they hurt. Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, he did okay. Randall Cobb didn't do well. Those receivers are going to not benefit with Brett Hundley. It may take a few weeks, so if you're kind of...
Devontae Adams might still...
Somehow gets a touchdown.
He'll still catch
it. It's unbelievable.
Devontae will still catch the one touchdown thrown his way.
I think the biggest thing here is how it's going to affect the run game. So Ty Montgomery last week had 4.1. Aaron Jones had 5.2.
They're just going to stack the box.
Yeah, exactly.
The Vikings do it. Until the first 5 plays, it was 3rd and 13, and they still ran the ball. So unless they feel comfortable with Brett Hundley.
Okay, but also, they weren't sure. Rodgers, the first couple plays, he was still on the sidelines. He was in the tent. It's one of those things. He could come back, so they're not going to say, okay, it's 3rd and 13, line up and run 4 wide. They're just not going to do that. However, I think Hundley...
That would have been fun, though. Just go. Hail Mary.
Dude,
all day.
But see, that's why I'd be a terrible coach. How are you going to do? Coach, suck it up. You'll be all right. Get in there, throw the damn ball. But no, I mean, my first kind of thought about Hundley is he's not the greatest. He wasn't bad at UCLA. He wasn't a terrible quarterback at UCLA. But I do think with Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, he has weapons.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to have to build this around him now. He's not going to have a lot of time because his offensive line's really hurt. So a lot of short passes, not a lot of big plays. For PPR, you might see a lot of receptions, but you're going to see 9 receptions for 70 yards.
No.
So you're going to see the big passing games that we're using.
It'll probably be 6 for 20, and Devontae Adams will still catch the 1 touchdown. But no, I mean, I really don't think that hit was that dirty.
No, it wasn't. It was a clean hit. I don't see the controversy either.
I don't.
It was a clean hit.
You're running full speed, and you're trying to tell the guy to stop.
Yeah.
But then he tackles you, and you just expect him to hit you and kind of jump out of the way and not fall on you. That's what tackles are.
Yeah. Rodgers. He's mobile.
It's a contact
He's
sport.
out of the pocket. And unlike most mobile quarterbacks, with the exception of maybe Wilson, I guess, not even as a homer, but just they can throw the ball when they're going to the ground.
And especially when you hit them up high, your first movement is when someone's going down, you go over top of them.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is you can't have it either way, right? So it's okay, people say it was a dirty hit when he went up. It's okay, well, if he went for his legs, oh my God, there'd be just so much controversy. No. It's he's going for the ACL. It's not, you can't have it both ways.
I agree, and I think the other thing, too, is for maybe the exception of Brady, if this hit happened on any other quarterback, nobody would even question it was a dirty hit. But because it's Rodgers...
Right, because he broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks these days, you can't have it either way. Yes, there's the pocket. If you get hit in the pocket, they're going to be a penalty.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go outside of the pocket, where's the line that tells you, okay, when can you hit a quarterback?
Depending on what tier of quarterback you are, apparently.
Exactly, yeah. It's a superstar call. That's what I like to call it.
And it's just look, if the ball was leaving his fingertips and he hit him, fine. However, he was just locking to throw. So I don't think it was a dirty hit. I think it sucks for the Packers. I think Jeff's season is over. I think it affects fantasy implications as far as all these receivers. I think is going to be huge. But I mean, for you, nobody should root for injuries. But if I were you, I'd be thrilled.
NFC North is now wide open.
It is. But so there you have it. Week 1, Packers are dead. Other than that, pretty standard week in the NFL. Not a lot. But let's see what it did to your terrible power rankings. I'd better moved up this week.
All right, the power rankings. I live for this stuff. All right, number 10 is Jeff Muir. All I have right here is RIP to all Jeff's hopes and dreams. Rodgers went down. He lost again. He's 1-5. I don't know how you bounce back from that.
No, I mean you don't. I think between Mira and Kyle, Like, that's your tattoo watch.
Tattoo watch.
Armando, because of his ability to play fantasy football, I will say, even though he's 2-4 as well, it's not, as far as percentages
different
goes.
landscapes with both of their teams.
No, there
They're
are.
going
There are.
opposite directions with how their players are playing.
There are.
All right, number 9.
Number 9, K Storms. He was previously 9 last week, so there's no change there. He made a trade. Now, when I first saw this, I think exaggerated it, but I don't know. You guys think about this. Mike Evans and Ezekiel Elliott, and he traded to Armando for Marshawn Lynch and Deshaun Jackson.
First of all, you spelled Deshaun wrong.
I did, but it's
so,
okay.
Aside from that,
Typo.
I think Zeke, the suspension's happening now.
It is.
So I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you're Kyle and he comes back in the playoffs, because he will, for fantasy, why don't you keep him to avoid that possible
Because
tattoo?
they could drop the next
But
5
he's probably going to
games.
make the playoffs.
And that's
No.
another. Okay, well, see, it doesn't
Then
matter.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, and Marshawn Lynch, yeah, the Raiders are bad right now. He has that LeBron James thing where he doesn't care the first half of the season.
Right.
He just doesn't care. And then the last 4 weeks, all of a sudden he'll go out there and crush it because he's a power runner, and he'll put up 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, no problem.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
All right, number 8.
Number 8 is Alfredo. Or
Yeah.
Alfredo. He's 2-4 now. He lost to Armando 136-89. Huge. His team is all right. T.Y. Hilton again. We talked about it last week. Imagine we're trash or bust. He put up 1 catch for I think 30 yards, which is 3 fantasy points. Gronkowski had a huge day, but it's just I think Alfredo's week is going to be tied to how T.Y. Hilton does. When T.Y. Hilton has a good week, he wins. He has a bad week, he loses. So that's something to kind of watch. But
All right.
I don't know.
All right, number 7.
Number 7, Armando. He was previously number 10. He moved up. He thinks he should move higher. I completely disagree. About that trade.
He's 2-4.
He's 2-4. I know. He says, "Well, every week I'm going to win out, right? And matchups." I'm like, okay. Well, again, you never know. Fantasy, there's
Who's
no
telling you
given
that?
week.
Is he just thinking
He's
that?
just probably imagining.
Because
it.
I'm sure you think you're going to win every week. I think you're going to.
I don't think I'm going to win.
I know when I'm going to
I'm
lose.
pretty sure I was going to lose.
I play you again week 11. Probably going to be a loss. But Armando has been carried by Melvin Gordon. He's had 2 back-to-back 30-point games. I think that's going to be a huge factor moving forward. Matthew Stafford and Lions are on bye this week, and Golden Tate is hurt.
Yeah, no, and Golden Tate was literally it.
Not to be biased, but that whole Lions team looks shaky.
It's
if
bizarre.
I'm you, I'm so stoked for this NFC North this year.
They lost to
The Stars are
they
relying
lost to
for
the
you to
Saints.
lose in the
it's-
second round.
It's
It's
crazy.
maybe scares me is the Bears with Trubisky.
That maybe.
And do you know how bad that sounds?
Yeah, exactly.
Because see, when David Compton and when the Bears traded for Trubisky, I remember looking at David. I'm like, who? I'm like, I've never even heard of him. And he's like, Nick, there's a reason you've never heard of Trubisky.
That's true.
If Trubisky's your biggest worry about a Vikings playoff run,
Yep.
I'd be
Things are looking
excited.
good. Things are looking
I've
good.
I've been a Vikings fan for a long time, so I'm used to heartbreaks. So
Oh,
should be
yeah.
better.
Thank you, Blair Walsh. All right, moving on. Number 6.
Number 6, Mr. Pork and Cheese himself, Nick Bier is 3-3. He was previously 6th last week. He beat David 131 and 118. Rather an upset.
David's slipping, by the way. We'll get into that.
We're gonna get into that.
We'll get into that.
So Nick is just, he finds ways to win. He has Emmanuel Sanders, Stephon Diggs, Rob Kelley, and David Johnson all on IR or they're hurt, which is incredible.
Pretty good team.
He finds ways to win. Leonard Fournette has been an absolute monster for him, and it's just, he picks up waiver wires. You got Jerick McKinnon, and just grinding away. Keep on keeping on.
All right, I actually played him this week, so. All right, number 5, Big Baller Brand.
Oh, God. Chaz 3-3. He lost to Jago 132-90. Again, another blowout. Devontae Freeman didn't show up. We talked about Jordan Nelson and his stock possibly going down. Hopkins had, I think, 2 catches for 10 yards and a touchdown, so he had a salvage day, sort of. Again, Chaz's team is very inconsistent, but I don't see him making the playoffs at all. He's just kind of the right place, right time type of deal.
I guess we'll see. All right, number 4, straight out of Compton. This one, after you're done, there's some discussion about it.
Compton, Tim Shelton. He was previously 3. He lost again, so this is 3 in a row. He started off 3-0. We're thinking this is a locked playoff team. Now he drops 3 straight. What's the deal?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That team's slipping.
I don't know.
There's some turmoil in the front office.
There is.
with their GM.
There is
No.
some turmoil.
There are, I mean, like you said, when you drop 3 in a row like that, if I'm him, I'm legitimately worried. I mean, he'll still make the playoffs, but long term, your team,
Yeah.
like,
There's
that's
some
a
cause for
bad
concern.
losing streak.
There's-
Oh, yeah.
You find some holes now when you lose 3 straight and you see, okay, maybe we have to patch things up a bit. And if you don't do that right away, you don't get that perfect waiver wire pickup. Then you're kind of sitting there, oh, shoot, it's almost the playoff time. I don't know if I'm going to make it. 4-0, right? Started wherever I was.
And Brady, he's been good, but
Brady looks great.
Pats of old.
He looks Looks great.
earlier in the season.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
he looks great, but their defense
that
is
defense
serious. It's a huge
It's
issue.
good for Brady because the defense allows a lot of points, so it forces Brady to pass the ball a lot.
So anyone on the Pats offense,
Yeah.
get looks, which is
Nice.
huge.
I agree. All right, number 3. Let's hear it. I am
I love
excited for this.
I'm going right at this camera for this one. So number 3 is Nick Kirchner. There purely out of spite, and the fact that I don't want to leave number 2 yet. Look, you got lucky. All right, Nick got lucky. Oh, that is not a challenge
I'm
flag.
challenging that.
Absolutely not.
If there's a penalty on this,
I'll
look,
take the
I
penalty.
don't care about what you said. Bottom line is, you said you put me here out of spite. Okay.
You got
Shady
lucky
was
with
down.
the Ravens D.
Baldwin was down.
AJ Green was on bye.
This isn't about you.
Our superstars were on bye. What would have happened if AJ Green got 30? I don't know.
You would have won.
Yeah, I would have.
But you didn't. So, okay.
You're 4-2.
Play tiebreaker with this. He said you did it out of spite. Him and I should be probably flipped.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he beats you and you're in the same record.
But I still have more points for it. Still have
It
more
doesn't
points
matter
for
if he beats you though.
it.
Like in any other sport of all time ever, the person that beats you and have the same record deserves to be in front of you.
Still have more points for it.
All right, number 2.
Number 2 is me. Again. If only like something happened differently, I would have won. I don't really have an excuse.
But it
Truly,
did.
I lost. It's a bummer. The fact that I lost to both of you clowns is unbelievable. Good news is though, I did win the pick league. So great. And you owe me $10.
I know, I forgot to tell you.
You should.
Anyways, you lost. I understand you're better. All right, number 1 is a resident.
God, the
You know
J-Go.
what? I'm not even going to talk trash to you anymore at this point. You've been crushing
He's
it.
put up over 125 points every single week this season. Larry Fitzgerald absolutely haywire. Last week I was like, OBJ went down. Has to be a huge hit. Larry Fitzgerald goes off. I have no idea the Vikings are crazy good too. I don't know. Those are my power rankings. Tune in next week to find out what happens next.
All right, is your season in shambles like Cam Backstrom's love life? Take a look. Waiver wire's coming up right now. So for my waiver wire pick, basically any Cowboys running back, Darren McFadden or Alfred Morris. I mean, right now they haven't been great. Alfred Morris has only 8 carries for 87 yards so far in the season, and Darren McFadden only has 24 for 87. I'd shift to Morris first, but with the Ezekiel Elliott suspension, they'll probably split for a while until they figure out who's better of the two. If you're in need of a running back, definitely pick one of them up and just wait a week or two to see what happens.
Yeah, I totally like that. Most of what I've seen is Alfred Morris is going to be kind of a starter guy, and he is going to either win the job or he's going to lose the job and give it to McFadden.
Yeah.
So that's
But
either one's
has
good.
that big play threat.
Exactly.
There's always that potential there.
Me? Oh, how kind of
Oh,
you.
let's
How
go
kind of you.
first.
My name is Benny Fowler, wide receiver for the Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders is going to be out for at least 2 to 4 weeks. We'll talk about it a bit later. And Demaryius had an MRI on his lower thigh on Monday. So that would put Benny Fowler as the number 2 for this passing offense. If you're in need of a bye week fill or just you want to get insurance for Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, pick up this guy. He's owned in only 13% of leagues, and I expect at least 10 points from him out of Benny Fowler.
All right, if you're looking for a quarterback, a spot starter quarterback, even kind of a quarterback to give you a couple of weeks, Carson Palmer of the Cardinals. Here's why. They introduced Adrian Peterson. We saw that.
And so that's going to open up action. They may have to stack the box.
Respecting Adrian Peterson, it's like a switch has been flipped.
Honestly.
You got Larry Fitzgerald, who's going to be good. You got J.J. Nelson. You got a bunch of receivers that are going to benefit because now the Cardinals were so one-dimensional early on this season where they didn't have big play guys on the outside, but now with the running back that they have, you're going to see some big plays down the field now.
Yeah, that's actually, I think it's a really good pick. I know there was a note that I saw when Palmer throws over 40 passes, they've lost every game in the season, which is pretty insane.
And see, the thing about Carson Palmer, I mean, like you said, for fantasy, he's going to be good as far as the Cardinals are concerned as a whole. Palmer is one hit away from literally just dust.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the field. I mean, this has to be it for Carson Palmer this year.
I think it's this year, one more year, depending on if he stays healthy. We'll see.
Alright. I don't agree with you, but I never do. Alrighty, that was it. First segment is in the books. Coming up after the break, we will have Magic or Tragic, Duds versus Duds a little later. And then David the Pope Compton blesses us and you with his pick of the week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Las Vegas is home to Tabletop Championships in October. The Unrivaled Tournament Series conquers the Strip with hundreds of players competing in 6 games. Ascension, King of Tokyo, Munchkin, Nevermore, Epic Spell Wars 2, and Villagers and Villains. All for the chance to win part of the $250,000 prize pool. It all takes place on October 28th in the Jubilee Theater starting at 5 o'clock. Join us in person or watch us live at Oomba.tv and check out Unrivaled.com for a full schedule of events. Looking forward to seeing you there.
All right, so this week we will have Adrian Peterson, Zach Ertz, Tom Brady, Case Keenum. I think I already know where you're going on one of them. But first up, we will get to that in a moment, is Adrian Peterson. I gotta say Magic. He returns the AP of old, 26 carries, 2 touchdowns, 134 yards. He did fumble once, which has always been, I'm sure as you know, an Adrian Peterson
Staple of
staple.
his.
A staple.
They play the Rams this week, the Cardinals do, so they're a pretty good run team. He will still have good numbers, maybe 60 yards, 1 touchdown. He's not going to have what he had last week.
Right.
But I think you're going to be on pace for probably 50 yards and a touchdown every week for the rest of the year.
That is a bold move. I like it. I'm gonna also agree. I'm gonna say Magic. My biggest thing is, was it just a fluke game, or are we seeing the old AP we know and love? I think we're seeing the old AP we know and love. As I mentioned, they played the Rams this week. Leonard Fournette had a great week against the Rams, including that 75-yard touchdown run. I think he gets another 100 yards and a touchdown. Doing good.
I'm going to say Magic. Like you said, the Rams defense looked a little putrid against Fournette. However, a lot of it was just missed tackles. So if they get tackles, then that doesn't happen to Fournette. I still think Peterson will score a touchdown. I still think, like Kirkshank says, he's going to get 50 or 60 yards, maybe even 75. I'll go 75 yards and a touchdown for Adrian Peterson this week.
All right. I like it. Does it hurt him? Does it hurt you more to see him running like that, or are you kind of happy for him?
No, that's fine. I mean, you deserved a chance. New Orleans kind of screwed him. That
Yeah,
was the dumbest thing.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't know why.
I mean, he's 32. I love Adrian Peterson. I mean, he's
They don't hate him. It was just
He's had a great career.
the only reason the Vikings didn't want to re-sign him was because he was going to cost too much.
Yeah. No.
And then they got Dalvin Cook. So
Right. God, I miss you, Dalvin Cook.
All right, moving on. Zach Ertz. Ertz has shown all season long why he is the best, what I think probably best tight end in the NFL right now.
Wow.
If you look at the numbers, I mean, he's logged 2 TDs last Thursday against Carolina, and then they play the shaky Redskins defense this season. I think he's magic. Also, this season, he's hauled in 34 catches for 405 yards and 4 touchdowns. Those are pretty good numbers for a tight end.
yeah.
That is okay. That's respectable numbers. I will admit. However, I still think tragic. They play the Redskins D. Yes, it's been a little suspect, but I think they're going to find a way to contain him and force Wentz to throw the ball downfield even more to Nelson Aguilar or Alshon Jeffrey. But I'm going to go tragic.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go tragic as well. I think this game's going to be a really good game, though, on Monday night.
Monday Night Football.
I think the Redskins are they game plan really well for the spotlight players. They're going to spotlight Zach Ertz, but this is going to leave other receivers like Nelson Aguilar, like Alshon Jeffrey open. I still think the Eagles will win this game, but I think Zach Ertz may not have a great production, maybe a couple of receptions here and there.
All right. So up next, Tom Brady. I don't know.
Winningest quarterback.
I don't know why you picked this one. He's Tom Brady.
Well, it's
He's had
a
a
good
couple.
one.
He's had a couple rough starts, but literally until his retirement press conference, he's magic. He is good for 2 touchdowns and 250 yards. He's Tom Brady. He's going to throw the damn ball. Especially now they don't have a defense anymore, so he has to win in shootouts.
Okay, just trying to get the conversation going. Yes, Tom Brady is magic. Super Bowl matchup. This is going to be awesome. Falcons blew a 17-point lead last week. Will they blow another one this week? I think it's going to be a shootout. Like, I hope literally between the 2 quarterbacks, 9 touchdowns. I hope it's a shootout. Magic.
Yeah, Brady's going to be magic. That Falcons secondary looked bad against Jay
Cutler.
In that second half. I'm not a buyer of the Falcons this year. I think there's a lot of problems with that team. Tom Brady exposes them again. Falcons lose again.
Alrighty, and finally, Case Keenum. He's tragic. He's Case Keenum. Vikings offense has been kind of decimated by injury so far. He's got a trash game plan. And the Ravens D, Keenum is tragic. Let's get yours over with so I can listen to him complain.
Absolutely. Tragic. What I have here is honestly he's been playing out of his mind. And that's good for him. University of Houston, never forget. The Ravens, my secondary, is pretty gnarly. Tony Jefferson, Eric Weddle. I think we're going to contain your playmakers. Casey Newton is going to be tragic.
Or
It's funny to hear you guys talk about a quarterback that you've probably seen one time play all season. Like I said earlier,
Luckily, I'm blessed. I don't have to watch Vikings games.
Adam Thielen leads the league in yardage in NFC. Stephon Diggs is top 5 with missing a game. Kyle Rudolph is up there in targets as tight ends. He has weapons. He doesn't need to do a lot. He doesn't need to throw the ball 40 times to win a game and do well. They do a great job in intermediate routes, 20 yards, move up and down the field. Then there's a touchdown pass. Up and down the field, up and down, touchdown pass. He's magic. You guys are going to watch. He's playing with extreme confidence right now. They're playing at home. He says himself he plays better and feeds off the crowd at home.
I hope he
I would
gets.
start that Ravens D. I feel like they're going to really feast.
I hope he
this
gets
week.
benched for Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater's not going to play for another 2 or 3 weeks.
There you go.
In 2 or 3 weeks, then.
There you go.
Alrighty. So, all that being said, speaking of being done, let's go to our injury report.
All right, so the biggest one to start off with is Aaron Rodgers, the Packers. He's out for. Don't do that. That's so mean. He broke his collarbone. He had surgery this week. People are saying he's out minimum 8 weeks. It could be the season. We don't know how long. So of course, Brett Hundley is going to be the backup. So stay tuned for that. Another quarterback, Jameis Winston of the Tampa Bay Bucks, has an AC joint sprain. His status for Week 7 is to be determined. We'll find out later this week, especially on Friday, leading up to Sunday's game. A couple Broncos wideouts we talked about a little bit earlier. Emmanuel Sanders and Demarius Thomas. Sanders has an ankle injury. He was seen in crutches on Monday and is considered week to week. So we'll stay tuned for that. I'm thinking at least 2 to 5 weeks. Of course, Demarius Thomas, the other wideout on the other side, had a lower leg injury, MRI on Monday. He should be good to go though for Week 7. And then Tyreek Hill had a concussion from the Chiefs game, and Golden Tate sprained AC joint. They are on bye this week, but they're still saying it's going to be at least 2 to 3 weeks there. So a couple big injuries, guys, right there, especially in the NFC North.
Bye's coming at a good time for some teams. Bye's coming at a good
Yes,
time.
it is, especially for the Lions.
And see, that's also another thing about Hundley. Like, they have a bye coming.
Yeah.
Like, he will get a full solid
Yeah.
9 days of actual
And
practice.
remember, he led the preseason in passing yards. So, I mean, that doesn't mean much, but it shows that he can still throw the ball around.
No, he can, and he had a bad interception more or less, but it's when you're playing on a team with Rodgers, you know you're not gonna start.
Right.
We will see. Anyways, you don't like injuries, but if you are Justin, as a Vikings fan, I will be. Look at that smile.
Look at that soft smirk.
Look at
That's
that.
smart.
Look at that smirk. All right, studs versus studs. Let's hit it. Alrighty, so as always, we will recap a little bit of our last week's studs versus duds. Michael Crabtree was a stud, 6 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown. It was the only thing that's worth anything on that abysmal Raiders offense. I mean, is he going to get that every week? No, but it looks like he might be returning to pre-Richard Sherman, I killed you days.
That is so true.
I'm never going to love that down. That was one of the greatest moments of my life.
I bet.
Oh, I love it. All right, well, my dud is going to be Andre Ellington. He put up 0 points. Why? Well, a man named Adrian Peterson put up 125 and 2 touchdowns, avoided the entire Arizona Cardinals backfield except for Mr. AP. Andre Ellington is done. He is literally toast.
Agreed. So, moving forward for next week, I'm going to start with my dud, just because I like to spew nonsense. Martellus Bennett.
He's done nothing. That's a fine dud.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was watching the Packers-Viking game, because I was flipping around, but that, to me, was the most interesting. They called Bennett's name, and I was like, oh, that's where he is right now? I mean, he was supposed to be the X factor on that team, more or less, because he was pretty good in New England. However, this season, he's only caught 22 of the 35 balls thrown at him for a grand total of 216 yards and no touchdowns.
Wow.
He's terrible this season. Bennett, you're trash. Your season is over. I'm sorry. I'm done with you.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
Good
my,
start to stud.
that is a good start.
Sorry, he's garbage.
My dad is going to be Doug Martin. He's playing the Bills. He luckily had a touchdown in garbage time against the Cardinals. Don't expect that, especially coming off. The Bills are coming off of a bye week. I'd expect maybe 60 yards and a touchdown. They're going to run the ball more if James Winston does not play, but I still think that Bills D is really, really good. Do not start him.
All right, I'm going to go with my stud first because my dud builds off Crookshank's stud. So
Good catch. I was wondering if you were going to have to continue.
my
Very
stud
nice.
is going to be Keenan Allen versus the Denver Broncos. The Broncos have allowed 30 points or more to wide receivers in 4 of their 5 games. They just got lit up by Eli Manning, who was without OBJ, Brandon Marshall, and Sterling Shepard, not really that healthy. Phillip Rivers coming in. The Chargers are they're on a 2-game win streak. They went into Oakland and did pretty well. Keenan Allen's going to put up some points right now because I think the Chargers are slowly getting out there. And the Broncos just lost. The Raiders look like crap. The Chargers can maybe slowly win this quarter of the season. They're 4-4, and you never know.
And I have Keenan Allen, so I love that pick. All right, my stud is the Ravens defense.
Scott, we finally agree on something. Let's do
The
it.
only reason I picked it is because they laid waste to him last weekend.
It's not wrong. 20 points, and I was
You know
happy.
what? 2 touchdowns, 2 fumble recoveries, 20 points. All right, so I probably won't even start him this week.
You should. They're going to eat the Vikings alive. Case Keenum and company.
I don't know this. I have the
We're gonna
Seahawks
see.
and they play the Giants.
Oh, then I would do that.
All right, who is your stud?
My stud, speaking of Seattle, is Evan Ingram. This guy had 5 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown against Denver. I think he's going to do it to Seattle.
You just literally said start the Seattle defense because they're playing the Giants.
Because
You
Evan Ingram is going to go off.
Do you
That is a good-
understand?
That was
My
good.
dud. My dud.
That was a good contradiction.
My
Now
dud.
watch just what happens when we talk about next week.
No, it wasn't.
My
I can't wait.
is going to be the Ravens defense.
Because one, don't pick a stud or defense as a stud.
I can do whatever I want. It's my show.
2,
Thank
they're
you.
going
So can
on
I.
the road against Case Keenum, who, give credit, Case Keenum's never been a great quarterback, but he's playing with extreme confidence. Adam Thielen leads the NFC in receiving yards. Stephon Diggs is going to come back. LaCron Treadwell got reborn. Michael Floyd is back from his DUI. Kyle
Great.
Rudolph is there. Jerick McKinnon catching balls out of the backfield. Those are weapons, man.
Our secondary is
literally,
great.
literally, my pick was just a nod to the Ravens defense, who carried me to a win this week.
They will get 12 points this week.
I will bet you they don't.
Ooh.
How much?
I'll bet you whatever.
We'll say $10.
$10.
$10 to get 12 points. You saw it here first.
Deal.
Alrighty, and on that note, aside from illegal gambling, we actually do occasionally talk sports here. Coming up after the break, these two will pick which of our fantasy matchups is going to look good. Cam and I'll go head-to-head, and El Presidente, David the Pope Compton, pick of the week's coming up. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after this short break.
Las Vegas is home to Tabletop Championships in October. The Unrivaled Tournament Series conquers the Strip with hundreds of players competing in 6 games. Ascension, King of Tokyo, Munchkin, Nevermore, Epic Spell Wars 2, and Villagers and Villains. All for the chance to win part of the $250,000 prize pool. It all takes place on October 28th in the Jubilee Theater starting at 5 o'clock. Join us in person or watch us live at Oomba.tv and check out Unrivaled.com for a full schedule of events. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Hello and welcome back to the final segment of this week's fascinating installment of Fantasy Failures. As always, I'm Nick Cruikshank, Cam Backstrom, Justin Gillerman. So right now, guys, what are your fantasy matchups for the week? Justin?
I will start. I'll go Kyle versus David, the Pope Compton. David lost 3 in a row. You lose 4. That's when you clean house. That's when you go Brown status. Kyle's sitting there, kind of not sure what he's going to do. Just made that trade. If he wins this game, that kind of changes everything because now he's going to be like same record as David and Tim, and he's going to kind of maybe slowly push his way up there. So
That's a season game changer right
yeah, it is.
So mine's actually going to be Nick Vieira versus Nick Cruikshank. Battle of the Knicks. Cruikshank's 4-2, Vieira's 3-3. As I mentioned here, Nick Vieira's love of his life. Deshaun Watson's on bye. Jameis Winston's hurt. Who wins the quarterback battle? The rookie sensation Leonard Fournette versus the vet Shady. Always good. And then I have the battle of the tight ends. Cameron Brate, who I love.
Yeah, that was a
Monster.
great pickup
Oh
for
my
me.
God.
That is probably the best, not even a waiver wire pickup, just a free agent pickup I've ever done in my history of fantasy was Aaron Hernandez, his rookie season. He literally led me to my one and only fantasy championship, and I see Cameron Brate. I got a thing about tight ends.
Got a good
I
thing
love
about
this
tight
pick.
ends. He's got an eye for tight ends. Now, Jordan Reed is on Vieira's team. He's had a dud of a season, honestly, so we'll kind of see how that goes. But it's going to be a good one to watch.
So who wins over Vieira or me? That's a real question. Not you. Who wins?
For him.
You, since you got so butthurt about me picking against you.
No,
last
pick
time.
against me. Pick against me again.
Vieira's gonna win.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
All right.
you heard it here first.
Moving on to our fantasy player picks of the weeks. I'll kick it off. Mine's Brett Hundley.
Talk crap on all the Packers all show and then gets.
It just picks Brett Hundley. I love these picks.
Okay. All right. Here's my thing. He has a week of reps with the first team offense. He has offensive weapons. They will have a bye week coming up. And honestly, his mobility, even though Rodgers is mobile too, Hundley's faster. There's more you can do with a playbook. You can run a lot faster bootleg play actions. You can actually run a double or triple option. You can do a lot of other things. And the bottom line is, Hundley, if he can win a couple games, they're
The pressure.
yeah,
Pressure
they get stick around, and he wasn't bad at UCLA. I think he might get 252 touchdowns.
That would be good. Hopefully it does. I mean, they're playing New Orleans,
Yeah, that is true.
so it's a potential for a shootout.
Both to Devontae Adams.
Of course.
All right, Cameron.
Mine's gonna be Austin Sperry-Jenkins, tight end for the Jets.
Former UW stand-up.
You were right about that. They play at Miami. He should have had 2 touchdowns if it wasn't for that controversial call versus the Patriots this past week. They play a suspect Miami defense. I think he gets 2 touchdowns. He's the go-to guy for Josh McCown, and he'll be a top 5 tight end when the season ends.
I like. Wow, that's a bold pick too.
That is
I
a-
can see that though.
He's the go-to guy for
He
McCown.
had the DUI once as well.
My pick of the week, Raiders wide receivers. They're playing the Chiefs this week. You may think, but the Chiefs defense is so good. The Chiefs are 29th against wide receivers in fantasy points, allowing the most.
Wow.
They allowed 5 touchdowns to Houston wide receivers the other week when Deshaun Watson graced his presence to everyone. They just allowed Pittsburgh to have a couple big plays. Antonio Brown had a couple of big plays. Le'Veon Bell was catching the ball out of the backfield. Derek Carr's coming back healthy. He had to stumble against the Chargers, but he's back healthy. Look for Michael Crabtree, Amari Cooper, guys like that to kind of have big games against this Chief defense.
I like that pick too.
Like it too. Alrighty. So now, as always, we will go ahead and kick Justin off the set.
I got a call again.
There you go.
anyways.
Go take your call.
Well, I'm glad you're actually doing something. Alrighty, so on to Cam and I's pick'em. You're in the lead right now.
13 and 17.
All right, I'm 11 and 19. So congratulations, I still beat you this week. So moving on, I'll start it off. Nick Vieira faces off against moi.
Yep.
I'm picking Vieira. I don't think I'll catch Leighton in the bottle twice. And like you said, he keeps finding ways to win. So because of that, I just don't have a lot of faith.
I actually want you to win. Here's why. Vieira is I was looking at the divisions, right? West versus East. You're in the other division.
Yeah.
Nick Vieira's in my division. I'd like to have a comfortable lead between 1 and 2. Jago being 1, I'm being 2. So I'd actually like for you to win, and I'm going to take you. I think with Shady coming back, he does hopefully really, really well, and you win.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Moving on, Chaz and Armando. Armando talks a lot of game.
Oh, a lot of games.
I think, as with everything, he will collude and skulk around the office, and then Chaz will still beat him probably by about 10 points.
Cool.
I think Chaz.
I completely agree. Chaz is going to win. I think Devontae Freeman and Matt Ryan are going to have a great day against New England. It's a Super Bowl rematch. It's in New England. But again, we talked about the New England defense, pretty suspect, so I think Freeman's going to have a great day.
Alrighty. Moving on, Justin Gillivan versus Jeff Mira. This isn't even a contest. Jay Gill will literally mollywop and push Mira deeper, further into the hole. This isn't even going to be close.
It's going to be an absolute blowout. I think Cam Newton is going to have a great day. That's Jay Gill's quarterback. We know about Kareem Hunt. Jay Gill wins by 22, 25. Blowout.
Wow. All right. David put Compton over Kyle Storms. Compton rights the ship this week. Kyle's team is pretty bad, to put it bluntly. Compton's going to run through, probably run away with it, 15 points.
Oh, look at this. We're on such an agreement today. I completely agree. David Compton's going to win. I think Antonio Brown's going to be the factor. They're playing the Cincinnati Bengals at home. I think it's going to be what it takes, and I completely agree. I think at least 10 points over Kyle.
All right, and finally, Alfredo versus Cam. Alfredo's going to beat you like the redheaded stepchild you are.
Wow. Okay. Well, I took myself last week and I lost. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel my picker because I seem to take myself Alfredo. I'm going to take Alfredo purely out of just hope.
And now when you lose, it'll be even funnier.
I'm going to be so upset. AJ Green, I need you, and Michael Thomas, please show up this time. You got 4 points last week. Oh my God. Light up the Packers defense.
Alrighty, so there you have it, Justin. If you would like to grace us with your amazing
He's coming.
presence.
I'll be right back. Okay. See ya. Bye. Yeah. All right. Let's go do this.
Alrighty, yeah. So right now we will go live to the Oomba TV offices of David the Pope Compton for his pick of the week.
Dude, seriously? What? I told you, Eli Manning. Get out of my office.
Alrighty, so does he know they're playing the Seahawks? Like you said, like there might be 1 or 2 touchdowns, but
All the Evan Ingram.
dude, Richard Sherman,
Never pick against Eli Manning.
Cam
That's what I
Chancellor,
learned.
they got to feast this week.
I think it would be. I
Coming
hope
off
it's a
a
shootout.
bye week.
Yes, that is true. They are.
Shootout. The Seahawks don't have an offense. A shootout implies one team has to be able to actually move the ball further than 9 yards.
That is the definition.
That is the definition. But hey, I hope Russell Wilson can do something. But hey, you know, this is now 7 weeks in a row we've gone with Eli Manning, or David's gone with Eli Manning. You know,
Don't think it's changing anytime soon.
you're probably right about
I
that.
wonder what happens next year when he retires. Alrighty, that is all the time we have for today. Thanks to Nick Vieira, producer, Nicholas Huntley, chief engineer, Evan and Jeff, editors, Kyle, graphics. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at UmbaFF. You can tweet with us on Sundays, sometimes Monday nights too, or Thursday nights. Sundays are usually best before we all start drinking, so you usually get about a good half hour between 10 and 10:30.
It's not long.
As always, I'm Nick Crookshank,
I'm Cam Backstrom.
Dustin Gillerman.
and may your fantasy team never be a failure. Thanks. See you next week.